The first time I collapsed in front of my mother, she stepped over my body to answer a phone call about her book club. I was 16 then. 12 years later, as I lay curled on our kitchen floor with pain ripping through my abdomen, nothing had changed. My name is Maria, and I've spent most of my life being told I'm just dramatic. "Mum, please," I whispered, clutching my stomach. "I need help. The specialist said what you wanted to hear," Mum cut in, not looking up from her phone. "How convenient that the only doctor who believes you is the one charging $20,000 for surgery." The morning light streaming through our kitchen windows felt too harsh, too exposing. I pulled myself up using the counter, fighting waves of nausea. "The payment plan? I just need a co-signer. I have savings for the down payment." "Here we go again," Skylar announced, breezing into the kitchen in her yoga outfit. "Another medical drama from Maria. What is it this time? More mysterious pain that no regular doctor can diagnose?" I gripped the counter harder. "It's endometriosis. They found nothing," Skylar snapped, pouring her green smoothie. "Just like always. You know what I think? I think you're jealous that I'm getting married next spring, and this is your way of making everything about you." Again, Mum nodded sagely, as if Skylar had unveiled some profound truth. "Honey, we've been through this since you were a teenager. Every time something good happens to someone else, you end up in the ER. That's not..." The pain surged again, and I doubled over. "I have medical records, test results," "which mysteriously never show anything concrete," Skylar interjected. "Just like when you claimed you had chronic fatigue during my college graduation, or when you couldn't attend Mum's retirement party because of your migraine." "I brought the paperwork," I gasped, fumbling with my bag. "The loan documents. Everything's ready. I just need..." Mum finally looked up, her face a mask of practiced concern. "Maria, sweetie, do you know what co-signing would mean? We'd be responsible if you defaulted. And let's be honest, you can barely hold down a job with all your episodes." "I haven't missed a day of work in 8 months, I protested. "I've saved $12,000. I just need help with..." "Enough!" Skylar slammed her glass down. "You want Mum to risk her retirement fund on your vanity surgery? Because you're too weak to handle normal female problems that the rest of us deal with just fine?" The room spun. Not from pain this time, but from the realization that was finally, irreversibly settling in. They were never going to believe me, never going to help me. "I'm your daughter," I whispered to Mom. "Your baby sister," I turned to Skylar. "How can you..." "Oh, stop with the guilt trips," Skylar rolled her eyes. "You're 28, Maria. Isn't it time you grew up and stopped playing victim?" Mom stood up, gathering her things. "I have bridge club in 30 minutes. Maria, we love you, but this attention-seeking behaviour needs to stop. Have you considered therapy? I can recommend someone who specialises in personality disorders." I stared at them both. These women who shared my blood, who had watched me suffer for years and decided I was lying. Something cold and hard crystallised in my chest. "You're right," I said quietly, straightening up despite the pain. "I need to grow up, to stop expecting help from people who don't want to give it." "Now you're being dramatic again," Skylar sighed. "Just go home, take some Advil, and get over yourself." I walked out of that kitchen on legs that barely held me, made it to my car before the tears started. As I fumbled with my keys, another wave of pain hit, the worst one yet. I slid down against my car door, ending up on the concrete of our driveway. Through the kitchen window, I could see them continuing their mourning, as if I'd never been there. Mum was laughing at something on her phone. Skylar was taking a selfie with her smoothie. "I won't forget this," I whispered to myself, to them, to whatever force in the universe was witnessing this moment. "I won't forget, and someday neither will you." I didn't know it then, but that morning was the last time I'd ever asked them for help, the last time I'd let myself be small in their presence. As I finally managed to start my car and drive away, I felt something shift inside me, something that had nothing to do with physical pain. They wanted me to get over myself? Fine. I would get over the person they thought I was, the victim they'd made me into, and I would become someone they'd regret underestimating. 3 months after my family refused to help, I found myself hunched over my laptop at 3 a.m, trying to breathe through another pain flare while answering emails for strangers. Virtual assistant work wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills and let me work from bed when standing became impossible. "You're still online?" A message popped up from Douglas, another VA I'd met in a freelancer group. "It's late in your time zone." "Can't sleep anyway," I typed back. "Might as well make money." "Pain night? When isn't it?" A pause then. "Have you considered joining some of the chronic illness support groups I mentioned? The ones that help my sister?" I had, actually. I'd spent hours scrolling through their posts, reading stories that mirrored my own. Women dismissed by doctors, abandoned by family, fighting battles in their own bodies while the world told them it was all in their heads. My phone buzzed. Mom calling. I declined it, just like I had the last dozen times. The text that followed made my chest tight. "Skylar's bridal shower next weekend. Don't embarrass us by being sick again." I blocked her number. "Maria?" Douglas was still waiting online. "You there? Sorry, family stuff. Tell me more about those groups." Over the next hour, Douglas shared links and resources, but it was one particular comment that caught my attention. These people pay hundreds for coaches who understand their struggles, who've lived it. The next morning I called my bank. I'd like to check my surgery savings balance. Current balance is 13,047 taels, the teller reported. I took a deep breath. "I'd like to withdraw it all." "Are you sure?" "I thought this was for your medical procedure." "Change of plans. I'm investing in something else." That afternoon, I enrolled in 3 business courses and a health coaching certification program. Every cent I earned from VA work went to basic expenses. Every dollar from my surgery fund went to building something bigger. Douglas became my sounding board, then my mentor, then my business partner. We worked through nights, through pain flares, through moments of doubt. "You really think people will pay for this?" I asked him one evening, staring at our newly designed website. "Wellness coaching for chronic pain sufferers?" "You're offering what doctors can't," he said. "Understanding, strategy, hope." 6 months in, we got our first client, then another, then 10 more. I was working with our newest client when Skylar's wedding invitation arrived. The gold embossed envelope felt heavy with expectation. I dropped it, unopened, into my shredder. My phone lit up. Mom again, from a new number. "Your sister is devastated you're missing the final dress fitting. Why are you being so selfish?" I typed back my last message to her. "I'm not being selfish. I'm being absent. There's a difference." Then I blocked that number too. A year into building the business, during a particularly bad pain day, I found myself back in the ER. The same one where they'd first discovered my endometriosis, where my family had refused to believe the diagnosis. "Ms. Maria?" The nurse looked concerned. "Your emergency contact information is blank. Would you like to update it?" I thought about Mom, about Skylar, about all the times they'd left me alone in rooms like this. "No," I said. "Leave it blank." That night, I posted in one of our client groups. Sometimes healing means accepting that the people who should help you won't, and building a life around that truth. The responses flooded in. Hundreds of people sharing similar stories, similar pain, similar revelations. Our client list doubled that week. 2 years after that morning in my mother's kitchen, I sat in my own apartment, reviewing our company's quarterly earnings. The numbers blurred through my tears, not from pain this time, but from a different kind of ache. Douglas called to celebrate. "We did it, Maria. The business is officially self-sustaining. You know what this means?" I did. It meant I'd built something real out of my family's disbelief, something that helped others while helping myself. "You never did get that surgery," he said quietly. "No," I agreed, touching my abdomen where the pain still lived. "But I got something else instead, something they can't take away." That night, I dreamed of that morning in the kitchen, of lying on the floor while they stepped over me. But this time, in my dream, I stood up immediately, walked out without begging, started building sooner. When I woke, my phone showed a notification, a post from Skylar's perfect Instagram life, complaining about some minor inconvenience. I unfollowed her account and opened my laptop. There were people who needed real help, real understanding, and I had work to do. Success feels different when you build it from scratch. By my 31st birthday, our wellness coaching platform had grown beyond anything I'd imagined. We'd hired 5 more coaches, all chronic illness survivors themselves, and our waiting list stretched months long. "You should see this," Douglas said during our morning video call, sharing his screen. It showed Skylar's latest Instagram post, a perfectly filtered photo of her cutting a ribbon at some charity event. The caption read, "Missing my sister today. Family is everything." I snorted. Funny how family becomes everything when you need social media engagement. She's been tagging you in posts like this for weeks, Douglas noted. Want me to have legal send another cease and desist? Don't bother. She'll just play victim again. I switched tabs to our client dashboard. How's the new program launch looking? The numbers were good. Really good. Our Invisible Illness Survival Guide had sold out in pre-orders. Each sale felt like a tiny victory, not just for me, but for everyone who'd ever been told their pain wasn't real. My phone buzzed with a text from Quinn, my younger cousin. Heads up, Mum said Aunt Karen was asking for your new address again. Thanks for the warning, I replied. Still not interested? Can't blame you, Quinn wrote back. BTW, saw your TED talk. Made me cry. Good crying, though. That talk had been terrifying to give. Standing on stage, telling hundreds of strangers how betrayal by family had led to building a community for others like me. The video went viral in chronic illness circles, which probably explained my mother's renewed interest in my whereabouts. Later that afternoon, I sat in my home office, interviewing a potential new coach. She had fibromyalgia and a story that echoed mine. My husband left when the medical bills got too high, she explained, said he couldn't handle my negativity anymore. Their loss becomes our strength, I told her. You're hired. After the call, I opened my email to find a message from my old doctor's office. They were using our platform as a recommended resource for chronic pain patients. The same office where Mom and Skylar had once convinced the staff I was faking symptoms for attention. Look what just landed in my inbox, I messaged Douglas, forwarding the email. Karma's got a sense of humour, he replied. Speaking of which, have you seen Skylar's GoFundMe? I hadn't. A quick search showed she was trying to raise money for some wellness retreat. The irony wasn't lost on me. My intercom buzzed, the front desk of my building. Ms. Maria, there's a Karen here insisting she's your mother. My hands shook slightly as I pressed the button. Tell her I'm not available. And please update my no-entry list. Of course. Should I call security? Only if she makes a scene. I watched through my window as Mom left the building, her shoulders slumped in practiced dejection. She'd probably tell everyone how her cruel daughter had turned her away. She'd conveniently forget the times she'd turned me away when I was actually dying. My phone lit up with a notification, a review on our app. This program saved my life when my own family wouldn't believe I was sick. Thank you, Maria, for building this community. I screenshot it and sent it to Douglas. This is why we do it. Speaking of doing things, he responded, the publisher called again. They really want that book. The book. I'd been avoiding it, knowing how much it would hurt to write. But maybe it was time. I opened a new document and typed, Chapter 1. They said I just wanted attention. The words flowed easier than I expected. 4 hours later, my phone buzzed with another text from Quinn. You might want to check Mum's Facebook. Skylar's having some kind of meltdown. Sure enough, my sister had posted a lengthy rant about ungrateful siblings and the importance of family forgiveness. The comments were full of sympathetic responses from people who didn't know the truth. I closed Facebook and returned to my manuscript. Let them have their narrative. I was writing my own. That evening, as I prepared for bed, a familiar pain gripped my abdomen. The endometriosis was still there, still untreated, but I'd learned to build a life around it, to use it as fuel rather than let it consume me. My phone showed one last notification, a voicemail from Mum. I hovered over the delete button but decided to listen. Maria! Her voice cracked with what sounded like genuine tears. Something's happened. Please call me back. Please. It's about Skylar. I set the phone down without returning the call. Whatever crisis they were manufacturing now, it wasn't my problem. I'd learnt the hard way that sometimes the greatest act of self-care is simply walking away. Besides, I had a chapter to finish. The voicemails kept coming, each one more desperate than the last. By the fourth message, Mum's voice had lost its usual manipulative polish, replaced by raw panic. Maria, please. She's in the ICU. The doctors say... A sob broke her words. They say she might not walk again without special therapy. Please call me back. I sat in my home office, finger hovering over the callback button, when Douglas's face appeared on my computer screen for our scheduled meeting. "You look rattled," he said immediately. "What happened?" "Skylar was in a car accident, spinal injury." The words felt strange in my mouth. "They say she might be paralysed. Are you okay?" I laughed, but it came out hollow. "Shouldn't you be asking if she's okay?" "I'm asking if you're okay." Before I could answer, my email pinged. Mum had sent a detailed message about Skylar's condition, complete with scanned medical records, the kind of proof they'd never believed when it was my health in question. "The experimental therapy program cost $67,000, I read aloud to Douglas. "Insurance won't cover it. Mum's asking me to help." "What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking about lying on their kitchen floor, begging for help with my surgery." My voice stayed steady. "I'm thinking about how they said I was faking it." My phone lit up, Quinn calling. I put him on speaker. "It's bad, Maria," he said without preamble. "Aunt Karen's losing it. Skylar's insurance lapsed last month because she forgot to pay the premium. She was too busy with her influencer stuff to notice. How convenient that they suddenly believe in expensive medical treatments," I muttered. "There's more," Quinn continued. "They're talking about selling the house to pay for it." "What house?" "Your house. The one you bought last year. They think you'll sell it to help Skylar." The audacity struck me like a physical blow. "They think I'll sell my house? The one I bought with my own money? Aunt Karen says family helps family." I ended the call and opened Mum's email again. There it was, buried in the middle of her desperate plea. "We know you've done well with your little internet business. The house you bought would cover Skylar's treatment. It's the least you could do after everything we've done for you." "Everything they've done for me," I repeated to Douglas, who was still watching concernedly from my screen. "Like dismissing my pain for 15 years? Like refusing to co-sign a loan that could have changed my life? Maria." "No." I stood up, pacing. "You know what the difference is? I actually had the money for my surgery. I chose to build this business instead. Skylar chose to let her insurance lapse while posting luxury vacation photos." My phone buzzed again. Skylar this time, calling from the hospital. Against my better judgment, I answered. "How dare you ignore Mum's calls?" she slurred, likely on pain medication. "I'm lying here paralysed and you're what? Too busy with your stupid chronic pain clients? Hello to you too, Skylar. Don't be cute. Mum says you have the money. You have to help me. Like you helped me." "That was different." Her voice rose hysterically. "Your thing wasn't real. This is real. I might never walk again." I felt something cold settle in my chest. "My thing wasn't real. Funny how you're suddenly an expert on medical conditions." "Maria, please." Mum's voice cut in. She must have taken the phone. "Whatever issues we had in the past, this is your sister's life we're talking about." It was my life we were talking about back then too. Silence on their end. Then Mum, softer. "We'll lose everything trying to help her. Is that what you want?" "No," I said quietly. "That's not what I want, but I'm not selling my house." "Then you're killing your sister." Skylar had the phone again, screaming now. "Her blood will be on your hands." I ended the call and turned to Douglas's concerned face on my screen. "They really think I'll cave," I said, more to myself than him. "They really think they can guilt me into this. What are you going to do?" I sat back down, opened my company's financial records. Our success stared back at me in clean, irrefutable numbers. Numbers that could easily save Skylar. "Nothing," I said finally. "I'm going to do absolutely nothing." "Are you sure?" I thought about all the nights I'd suffered alone, all the times they'd dismissed me, all the years of gaslighting and doubt. "Yes," I said. "Let them learn what it feels like to beg for help and be denied. Let them understand exactly what they did to me." As if on cue, another email from Mum arrived. "We're family. You have to help." I clicked delete without reading further. They were about to learn a harsh lesson about karma, and I would be their teacher. The Zoom call request came at exactly 9 a.m. Mum's name flashed on my screen, along with Skylar's. I accepted it, steeling myself for what was coming. "Maria!" Mum's face appeared, makeup perfect despite the obvious strain. "We need to discuss the house." "There's nothing to discuss." I kept my voice level. "The house isn't for sale." Skylar's face joined the screen, propped up in what was clearly a hospital bed. "You heartless bitch. Do you know what they're saying about my prognosis?" "Actually, I do. I read the medical files you sent. Unlike when I was sick, you provided actual documentation. This is different. Skylar tried to sit up, wincing. I could be stuck in this chair forever. And I could have avoided years of organ damage if I'd gotten treatment sooner. I smiled thinly. Funny how life works out. Mum leaned closer to her camera. Maria, honey, I know we had our disagreements about your condition, but this is Skylar we're talking about. Your sister needs specialised therapy. Like I needed surgery. That was years ago, Skylar's voice cracked. Are you really going to punish me for something that happened when we were practically kids? I pulled up a calendar on my screen. You were 29 when you told Mom I was faking it for attention. I was 28 when you called my needed surgery vanity treatment. That was 3 years ago, not ancient history. I was wrong, okay? Tears streaked Skylar's face. Is that what you want to hear? I was wrong. Now please, please help me. The words I'd longed to hear for years landed hollow. No, no. Mom's practiced composure cracked. What do you mean no? I mean no. I won't sell my house. I won't give you money. I won't help. You're killing me, Skylar screamed, her hospital gown slipping as she tried to move. Your own sister. My own sister. I leaned forward. Where was my sister when I needed her? Where was my mother when I was begging for help? We didn't understand then, Mom pleaded. We do now. Please, Maria. No, you understand now because it's happening to your favourite daughter. The truth felt clean, sharp. You understand because now you're the ones in pain. A nurse appeared briefly in Skylar's frame, adjusting something. Mum used the interruption to switch tactics. What about the neighbours? What will people think when they hear you refuse to help your own sister? They'll think exactly what you taught them to think about me all those years, that I'm selfish, dramatic, attention-seeking. I shrugged. You created this narrative. Live with it. I'll tell everyone, Skylar threatened, her face red. I'll post about how you abandoned me, how you're letting me suffer. Go ahead. Unlike you, I don't live for social media approval. Mum's face hardened. Your father would be ashamed. Dad left when I was 12. You don't get to use him as emotional leverage. We're your family, Mum's voice rose. Your only family. No, I said quietly. You're just people I'm related to. There's a difference. Skylar started sobbing, loud, theatrical wails that used to make me cave. I'm going to be trapped in this chair, and it's your fault. Like my chronic pain was my fault. I kept my voice steady. Like my emergency room visits were my fault. Like my need for surgery was my fault. That's not fair, I finished. You're right. It's not fair. Just like it wasn't fair when you convinced Mom I was lying, when you made me believe I was crazy, when you left me alone with my pain because it was inconvenient for you. A notification popped up on my screen. Another email from Mom's lawyer about the house. I deleted it without reading. The house is not for sale, I repeated. Not now, not ever, and this conversation is over. Maria, wait, Mum started. I ended the call. My phone immediately lit up with text messages. You evil, heartless monster, Skylar. After everything we've done for you, Mum, you'll regret this. Skylar again, I blocked both numbers. Douglas called moments later. How did it go? Exactly as expected. They demanded, threatened, guilt-tripped, and cried, in that order. And you're okay? I thought about Skylar's tears, Mum's manipulation, the familiar weight of their expectations. I'm better than okay. I'm free. They'll try again, he warned. Let them. The answer won't change. After we hung up, I opened my laptop and began typing. Dear valued clients, today's wellness session will focus on setting boundaries with toxic family members. The responses flooded in immediately. People sharing similar stories, seeking advice, finding strength in each other. This was my real family now, people who understood pain, who valued truth over appearance. Let Skylar and Mom spin whatever story they wanted. I had built something stronger than their lies. Quinn's call came at midnight. You need to get on a video call with me right now. There's something you have to hear. What's wrong? Just trust me. I'm sending you a link. When the video connected, Quinn wasn't alone. Judah, Skylar's ex-boyfriend from 2 years ago, sat beside him, looking uncomfortable. Tell her what you told me, Quinn urged. Judah cleared his throat. Look, I wouldn't normally get involved, but after seeing Skylar's GoFundMe campaign, I can't stay quiet anymore. What GoFundMe campaign? Quinn shared his screen. There it was. Help save my life. Abandoned by sister. Skylar's campaign had already raised $12,000. That's not why I called, Judah interrupted. Maria, do you remember when you were trying to get that surgery? When your family wouldn't help? My stomach tightened. Yes, Skylar did something. Something really messed up. He glanced at Quinn, who nodded encouragingly. She altered your medical records before showing them to your mum. The world seemed to tilt. What? She had access to your patient portal. You'd given her the password during that bad flare-up when you needed help managing appointments. She deleted test results, changed dates, made it look like doctors had found nothing wrong. My hands started shaking. How do you know this? She told me herself. We were fighting about her lying on social media, and she got defensive. Said something like, "You think this is bad? I once edited my sister's medical records to convince my mum she was faking." Judah looked down. She was proud of it. I have proof, Quinn added, sharing his screen again. Text messages appeared. Conversations between him and Skylar from years ago. Skylar. Just deleted more of Maria's evidence. Mum already thinks she's faking. I'm just helping her see the truth. Quinn. That's seriously messed up, Skylar. She's always been the family burden. I'm doing everyone a favour. The timestamps matched exactly when I'd been begging for help with my surgery. I saved everything, Quinn said quietly. I should have told you sooner, but Skylar would have denied it, I finished. Like she denied everything else. My phone buzzed. Another donation alert for Skylar's campaign. The description read, "My successful sister refuses to help me walk again. Please share my story." I want to talk to her, I said suddenly. Both of them. Now. Quinn hesitated. Are you sure? Set it up. 20 minutes later, Mom and Skylar appeared on the video call. Skylar had positioned herself perfectly in her hospital bed, looking tragically brave. Finally decided to help, she asked. Finally decided to tell the truth, I countered. About my medical records? The colour drained from her face. Behind her, Mom froze. I don't know what you're talking about, Skylar stammered. Judah does. I added him to the call. Want to repeat what you told me? The next 10 minutes were chaos. Skylar screaming denials, then accusations, then confessions. Mom crying, claiming she never knew, then admitting she'd suspected but chose to believe Skylar. You were always so needy, Skylar spat, her perfect victim mask cracking, always taking attention away from everyone else. Mum already thought you were exaggerating. I just helped her see what she wanted to see. By committing medical fraud? My voice was ice. By making me think I was crazy. You're still crazy. Skylar tried to sit up straighter. Look at you now, bringing up ancient history when I'm lying here paralysed. This is why everyone always took my side. You're pathological. No, Mum whispered, surprising us both. No, Skylar, this is wrong. What you did was wrong. Mum! I let you convince me, Mum continued, tears streaming. I let you convince me my baby was lying, and now... She covered her face. Oh, God, what did we do? What you always do, I said calmly. You chose Skylar, and now you're living with the consequences. Maria, please. Mom reached toward her camera. Now that I know the truth doesn't change anything. It just confirms what I already knew. I looked directly at Skylar. You didn't just deny my pain. You actively worked to prolong it, to discredit me, to isolate me. I was protecting our family. No, you were protecting yourself. And now, I smiled slightly, now you get to experience exactly what you put me through, begging for help, being dismissed, watching your GoFundMe fail while your family turns away. You can't. I can. I will. And unlike what you did to me, I leaned closer to my camera. This isn't fraud. This is justice. I ended the call on Skylar's scream of rage and Mom's renewed sobs. My phone immediately lit up with messages, but I ignored them all. The truth was finally out, and it felt like freedom. Skylar's GoFundMe campaign went viral, but not in the way she intended. Someone, I suspect Quinn, leaked screenshots of our video call to social media. Within hours, Shakti Justice for Maria was trending. Your story is everywhere, Douglas said during our emergency meeting. Media outlets are requesting interviews. Our client wait list has tripled. I stared at my screen, watching the fallout unfold. Skylar's carefully crafted victim narrative was unravelling comment by comment. She edited medical records to gaslight her own sister? This is literally criminal. No wonder Maria won't help her now. My phone rang, a number I didn't recognise. Is this Maria? This is Sarah from Good Morning America. We'd love to have you on to discuss. I hung up. Then another call, and another. You need to make a statement, Douglas advised. Control the narrative before they control it for you. He was right. I opened my laptop and began typing. What revenge really costs, an open letter. 3 years ago, I had 13,147 pounds saved for a surgery I desperately needed. When my family refused to help, I made a choice. Instead of treating my condition, I used that money to build a company that helps others like me, people whose pain has been dismissed, whose struggles have been minimised, whose families have failed them. Today, that same family demands I sell my home to fund experimental therapy for my sister. They call me cruel for refusing. They don't mention how they dismissed my illness for years. They certainly don't mention how my sister deliberately altered my medical records to convince our mother I was faking. You want to know where the money went? It went into building something bigger than my pain. Something that helps thousands of people now. Something my family can't touch, can't dismiss, can't edit away. I didn't get my surgery. I still live with chronic pain. But I built an empire from the ashes of what my family destroyed. And no, I won't burn it down to save the people who lit the first match. I hit publish and waited. The response was immediate. My post spread faster than Skylar's GoFundMe ever had. Chronic illness communities rallied. Former clients shared their stories. Should chronic pain is real started trending alongside my name. Then came Skylar's response, a tearful video from her hospital bed. My sister is using my tragedy to promote her business. She's twisting everything to make herself the victim. I made mistakes, but the comments shut her down. You committed medical fraud. You gaslit your sister for years. Karma is real. Mum tried damage control, giving an interview to a local news station. We were misled about Maria's condition. We want to make amends. I posted a single response. Amends are for people who make mistakes. You made choices. Live with them. Douglas called again. The publisher wants to move up the book release. They're offering double the advance. Tell them yes. And the speaking tour. Book it. My phone buzzed with a text from Quinn. Skylar's GoFundMe is tanking. People are requesting refunds. I opened the campaign page. The comments section had become a battlefield. Requesting refund can't support someone who edited medical records. Donating to Maria's Chronic Pain Foundation instead. Karma comes for everyone eventually. Then came the email from Mum's lawyer, no longer demanding the house, but begging for a meeting to discuss terms. I deleted it. Skylar posted again, this time dropping the Victim Act for raw fury. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Watching me suffer while you play saviour to strangers? I replied publicly. I used the money you denied me to build the life you now want to take from me. That's not enjoyment, that's justice. The quote went viral within hours. Douglas messaged, CNN wants to do a feature on medical gaslighting and family trauma. Interested? Set it up. My phone lit up with another text from Quinn. Mum's having a breakdown. Skylar's therapy centre is demanding payment up front now that the GoFundMe failed. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my company's website and published a new blog post announcing the Chronic Pain Justice Fund, providing therapy grants to verified victims of medical gaslighting. Within minutes, donations poured in. Each one felt like another brick in the wall between me and my family's manipulation. The final blow came from an unexpected source, my father, breaking 15 years of silence with a single email. I saw the news. I should have believed you back then. I'm sorry I didn't. Too little, too late. I closed my laptop and stood at my office window, watching the sunset. Somewhere across town, my family was facing the consequences of their actions. Their perfect facade had cracked, revealing the rot beneath. They wanted my story. Fine. But they get the real version. every painful, validated, vindicated word of it. And unlike the medical records Skylar edited, this truth couldn't be erased. The Lake House realtor handed me the keys with a smile. "Congratulations! It's all yours." I stood on the deck overlooking the water, breathing in pine-scented air that felt cleaner than anything in the city. My phone buzzed. Douglas calling. "How's the new place?" "Peaceful," I answered. "No drama, no family, no noise, just water and trees." Speaking of family drama, he hesitated. "Have you seen the news?" I hadn't. Hadn't looked at social media or checked my emails in days. The silence had been intentional. "Skylar's moving to a standard rehabilitation facility," he continued, "the kind insurance actually covers. Apparently, she's making progress with regular physical therapy. Good for her." "You don't sound surprised." "Because I'm not," I said, watching a boat drift by. "She never needed experimental treatment. She needed attention." My phone dinged with a message from Quinn. "Mum's selling her house. The real one, not yours. Says she needs a fresh start." "Where's she going?" I texted back. "Florida. Says she can't face people here anymore." I set my phone down and walked to the edge of the deck. Below, clear water lapped against natural rock. No artifice, no pretense, no carefully maintained image, just reality, raw and honest. The door chimed. My first delivery arriving. I signed for the package and carried the box inside. My new office was still empty except for a desk and chair, but it felt right. Clean, uncomplicated. Douglas called again. "The book hit #1 on Amazon's pre-orders." "I saw. They want to know if you'll do a dedication page." I thought about it. About all the people who deserved acknowledgement in this story. "Yes. Tell them I will." Opening my laptop, I typed, "To everyone who's ever been told their pain isn't real, this is your vindication. This is your voice. This is your victory." My phone lit up. An unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Maria?" It was Skylar, her voice smaller than I'd ever heard it. "I know you probably don't want to talk to me." "Then why are you calling?" A long pause. "Because you were right. About everything. The regular therapy is working. I didn't need experimental treatment. I wanted the attention, the drama, the chance to make me the villain again." "Yes." Her voice cracked. "I'm sorry. I know it doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry. You're right. It doesn't fix anything. Will you ever forgive me?" I watched another boat pass by, thinking about forgiveness, about healing, about peace. "No," I said finally. "Some things can't be forgiven, but they can be finished." I ended the call and blocked her number, the last one I still had unblocked. My laptop chimed with an email from our foundation's board. The Chronic Pain Justice Fund had already helped 30 people access legitimate medical care. Real treatment, real results, real change. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Quinn. "Nice place," he said, looking around. "Very you. How did you find me?" "Douglas. Said you might need some company while settling in." He handed me a housewarming gift, a framed screenshot of Skylar's failed GoFundMe next to my viral post. "Thought this belonged here." A reminder. Of what? That sometimes the best revenge is just living well. I hung the frame in my office, next to where my book cover would soon be displayed. The title glinted in embossed letters, Gaslighting, a family tradition. Quinn stayed for dinner. We sat on the deck, eating takeout and watching the sun set over the lake. "You know what's funny?" he said. "They thought they were breaking you all those years, but they were actually making you stronger." "Not funny," I corrected. "Poetic." My phone buzzed one last time. Douglas again. "CNN piece just aired. You're trending. Again." I turned the phone off without responding and looked out over the water. The lake was turning golden in the fading light, each wave catching fire before settling back to calm. "You seem different," Quinn observed. "Lighter." "I am." I smiled, feeling the truth of it in my bones. "I'm free." The pain in my abdomen twinged, a familiar reminder of battles fought and survived. But here, in this place I'd built from the ashes of betrayal, it felt less like a burden and more like a battle scar. I'd lost a family, but found my power. Lost their love, but gained something stronger, self-respect. The kind that comes from standing your ground, from refusing to bend, from building something beautiful out of something broken. The lake stretched out before me, endless and open, like possibilities, like future, like peace. This was my victory, not loud or violent, but quiet and complete. And it was enough.